Welcome everyone back to Vivid Earth. Today I've got Amelia Bergman with me, back with me, Prizm healer, our favorite healer on the block. And it's great to have you back, Amelia. How are you doing?
Thank you so much. I'm doing surprisingly well
Hmm.
with all the energies coming in. I feel like most of the day I am steady, and then I have little moments where my energy dips a little bit, or I just need to pause and rest, or go outside and get some sunshine, or put my feet in the grass, which it's been unseasonably warm here in Colorado. I've been able to put
Mm.
my feet on the ground in mid-November because it was in the 70s. So I'm doing a lot of that, and of course, all of my other usuals to stay steady. But it's really funny because when we were getting all those little X flares last week, I said it's been a while since we had a big one. And then the next morning, I woke up and we had a 5.17? No,
There
5.1.
was a 1.7 and then the next day a 5.1. It's like,
That's
whoa,
right.
okay. This is
That was
quite serious.
massive. Yes. How are you doing with all of that?
Yeah, I'm sailing through it surprisingly smoothly. I think as I said to you, I was like a little bit under the weather or had like a purging or an upgrade about a week or two ago. So I feel like my system is more clear now. So I'm able to take all the energies on surprisingly well. But yeah, the energies are wild at the moment. And we had the biggest X flare of the year come through like on the 1111 portal, which is, you could say coincidence, but I think not. And at the same time, we've got Atlas making all sorts of moves, um, and doing all sorts of interesting things. So we are literally, our planet is being pummeled with radiation and cosmic energy right now. We had a G4 storm, and which is likely to increase to a G5 right now. The KP
Wow.
index is at 9. It's like the highest it can be. So it's wild out there, and for those of us that are sensitive to energy, we can feel it. And somebody was saying earlier exactly what I have been saying as well, which is there are some people out there, it's just, well, I don't feel anything, I don't see anything, I don't feel any different. But some of us are just like, whoa, it's like cosmic tsunami hit us, and we really feeling the energies when they come through. And that's just how you're tuned. So if you're tuned into the higher sort of energies and you become more sensitive to it, you're going to feel it. If you haven't been doing maybe the work or tuning into the energies, you're not going to feel it. And there's no judgment there, but that is just, it's just a matter of resonance. Some people, it's like how you perceive things within the 3D is very different to how you perceive it in 5D. And some of us are dipping in and out of 5D quite regularly now, maybe not all the time, but and so the way that we perceive things and able to process information is very different from the 3D. Like, it's the same as people look at, the shape of the planet. Like, I believe when we're in 5 or 6D, it's going to look very different to what it looks now, simply because you're in a higher frequency, a higher dimension, higher density. So your perception changes. The way that your brain actually functions and processes information is very different. Um, and I've
Yes. I
noticed
think
from, yeah, sorry, go for it.
Oh, oh no. I was just going to say you mentioned the brain, and so I think that's a good thing to mention. Our eyes have been upgrading, so we're able to see more, perceive more. Like I live next to the mountains, and I can see all the different layers very distinctly, whereas I didn't used to. Um, and if I could just briefly mention the pituitary, because you mentioned all that light coming in and how that's affecting us. Every single one of my clients had a little moment where the pituitary was just having to work harder, and so it dipped a little bit. So if now is a good time, maybe I could send some healing light to whomever chooses to receive it right now, and ask for pure prism light to come in and clean out the pituitary. And then with that energy, I always ask for the whole body to be in alignment with raising the frequency and bringing everything back up to that 5D energy, the highest timeline, and all of that, because that's really causing some of like that fatigue and some of those distortions in the body and a lot of digestive fun and with animals behavior things. So I just wanted to interject that because it felt like a perfect spot to put it. But
Yeah, no,
yeah.
thank you for that. The Prism healing is well received. And I've been hearing a lot of people are having stomach issues, people just down with what they call stomach flu, but
Hmm.
perhaps not a flu as such, or vomiting. And it's funny because the gut is also has its own brain, right?
Hmm.
So the gut is also very sensitive to radiation and the light coming into the planet because there's an electrical system in the gut that if that is kind of upset because of these electrical storms, really, the G4 storm that we had coming through and all this activity, it's a lot of electromagnetism that's hitting our bodies and the planets, and we are bioelectric beings, right? So it is going to affect us, but slowly but surely it's sort of opening up the body and um, allowing us to perhaps exist in a higher dimension. That's how I like to see it. It's like you have to slowly upgrade the body, and that is why, perhaps the plan changed from one big solar flash to many small ones, which is going to be
Hmm.
much more digestible for our human bodies to
Yes.
absorb, take on, and upgrade because it can be rough in the body. Like we mentioned, also, particularly people with chronic conditions like heart conditions or high blood pressure, they may have some serious or have some serious effects from these activities that we see right now. Imagine you had a great solar flash. There would have been a lot of people that couldn't physically make it through this process.
Right.
So it's almost like we're being conditioned slowly. It's like you're building a muscle. You're going to the gym, right? Every day you work out, your muscles are getting slightly stronger, slightly stronger. You're not going to do it in one day. Your muscles are going to be, you're not going to be able to walk basically. So, but
Yes.
getting these little upgrades every other day, I mean, we seem to get like 3, 4 days a week, and then it seems to like, okay, you guys can get a break now, but we're starting soon again. So don't relax too much.
I
Um,
know.
that's kind of
And
how
I
I
don't know.
see it.
Me too. And yeah, just rolling with it. And it's really interesting. I think I felt a lot of the bigger energies coming in because Sunday and Monday, I was like shocking everything I touched. And
Mm.
I knew I haven't had that in a while. And I knew that was part of these massive energies coming in and everything just kind of like zapping awake in my own body. And there's even been really strange times. And I'm curious if anybody else has ever noticed that, like that my phone will charge while I'm holding it very
That's
slightly.
hilarious.
And it's only happened a couple of times, mind you. But like that's how much of the electrical system is like moving through our bodies. And so some people
Wow.
are really, really electrified at the moment.
That's
So
pretty cool. You're charging your own phone just by holding it in your hand. I love it.
yeah, I noticed it went up once, just I'm like, it went up 1%, and was that me? So I pulled out my
Oh,
pendulum just to see. Got a yes.
that's
Me mixed with the energies. It's the whole thing. But
mhm,
yeah,
very
yeah.
interesting. Yeah, and there's other people that have kind of flu-like symptoms right now, anxiety, headaches. I've got a little
Mhm.
bit of an annoying headache over the last 2 days, but it's at least not deliberate. What is the word I'm looking for? Oh, no. Anyway,
Debilitating.
debilitating. I was like dyslexic for a moment.
I can't think of words either right now. It's definitely, I've been saying the wrong things and I'm working with clients and I can't think of it, or I say something that's parallel to that word that's not quite on target. It's
Mm,
definitely because our brains are now starting some of the upgrading process so that we can perceive more of this and receive more of the light codes. So we're just
mm,
getting started. And because went through big nervous system upgrades the last however
mm,
long, for some, it depends on you how long you've been going through it. And so if you start to feel like you can't think of the words, or maybe there's a little bit of dizziness or pressure in the head, then you could be prepping for a good brain healing, clearing, crown chakra restoration.
mm.
It's really, really amazing what's going on.
Yeah, and it's such an intelligent system. It's unbelievable just to think that everything culminated also around this 1111 portal. Like literally
Hmm.
yesterday, I did put out a video, but I only saw afterwards that we just had an X 5.1 flare coming through, the biggest one of solar cycle 25. And the day before, we had an X.1. We had two X flares and two M flares. CME, that is a coronal hole that is like many times bigger than Earth. Um, all of this culminating along with 3-hour Atlas that is also making a lot of moves in the sky. It looked like it was not exploding, but its tail was doing weird things. It was doing all sorts of little weird things, and it had a lot of smaller comets around it. We've just discovered another comet, the Borisov one. So there's so much going on in the sky. It's like a traffic jam out there.
Yes, I had
And
not heard about that recent one.
yeah, yeah. So another new comet that has been discovered recently. Um, so yeah, it's all like just by divine design, and I love it. Just through this 1111 portal, it really didn't disappoint. It's not like, whoa, everything has changed, but there's these very subtle undercurrents that we're only starting to integrate, that we're only starting to notice as
Hmm.
it lands. So some of that maybe we haven't even fully grasped yet, but I feel like it's really done, you know, it's really come through for us on the 1111 portal, and that we are receiving all these
Hmm.
amazing energies for a reason. We had all those incredible auroras around the US and Canada, and I believe tonight we might see one in South Africa. So
Oh,
yeah, it's incredible. Wow.
that's amazing. Yeah, I was able to get a photo of them yesterday, and they say that it's going to be even more spectacular this evening. So we'll have to see. Maybe I should drive out and go see if I can get a better image. But
Mm.
it was really beautiful, really
Yeah, it's
beautiful.
going to be amazing. Um, what did I want to say now? Now I've gone blank. See, the brain is always not always cooperating, and Mercury's in retrograde. So not only is our equipment glitching, but also communication in general can be glitching.
Yes, it
So people
is.
are misunderstanding one another. So one has to be
Hmm.
really careful and communicate really clearly, so we don't have all these misunderstandings.
Yeah. It's been massive, and I think we're doing so much better with it than compared to like a year ago, where this would have hit me a lot harder, and maybe you as well.
Yeah.
And so, I've done a lot of healing work myself for a long time, um, but the LifeWave patches have been really, really, really helpful
Mm,
in integrating a lot of these light codes, because it's using your own light
mm.
to really help with the process. So I don't
Yeah,
know if
it's
you
like
want
a
to dive
little
into that.
miracle. It's like a little miracle in a patch. I think I was saying to you yesterday, I was like early afternoon, I just like got hit by something. Like I got hit by a bus. I was so tired suddenly. It's like, oh, I can't move right now. And then I remembered I was like looking down at my navel. Did I put my patches on? I was like, no, I didn't. I forgot to put it on. And I just, ran to the bathroom and put them on. And lo and behold, I actually felt better. So it can really support one through this time. Of course, that's just one of its very many abilities. It really helps clear the cells and the mitochondria and allow the body to absorb more light and um, facilitating the body's light to be absorbed back into it by reflecting the body's own light through the crystal technology. Maybe you can put it better than I can, Amelia.
That was beautifully put, but I think it's important to note that it's also a bridge for the ascension process too. As we are able to receive more light, we are getting blasted, for lack of a better word, with light. So why not help it integrate a little bit more smoothly, calmly, without it having like that drastic effect? Um, and for me, I muscle test which ones I wear and how I wear them. But for the last few weeks, I've had a lot of neck stuff going on with
Mm,
probably all this brain stuff that we're moving
me
into.
too.
And so I kept moving my patch throughout the day. So I put it here on the tight shoulder, then I put it closer up to the brain stem, and then I moved it to the lower back because it's all communicating with the whole spine. And I just kind of intuitively moved it around besides the usual spots, and it was really helpful to kind of shift the flow in the body so it didn't feel stagnant or stuck. And like you said, the energy is massive. And like yesterday, usually I wear my X39, but yesterday I wasn't guided to. I pulled out my SP6 because that one is for the spleen, but that's also good for the kidney and stomach points on the body. But I stuck it right on the spleen point, which is your chi, your life force energy, and it really just boosted my whole body. So
Mm.
that was so helpful for me. Or I put it behind the ear. There's a vagus nerve point back there. And I have not tried the ones that you put on the third eye, but I am curious to give that a shot sometime. I don't know why I haven't
Mm.
yet.
Well, maybe because you don't want to walk around with a white circle on your forehead. That's the reason I haven't done it.
Yeah, I'll wear one right here. You may see in some videos that I do that I've got one right there for the glutathione patch. But um, if I'm feeling like I'm starting to clear something, like I'm having drainage symptoms, I don't use disease names, but
Mm,
um, things like that, I'll do that just to clear the whole space here.
mm. And
So,
it's interesting that, our DNA or our body is becoming more crystalline, like by the day,
mhm,
moving from carbon to crystalline. And these are crystal patches. So I feel it's like a wearable med bed right now. Um,
mhm,
because we don't have access to med beds just yet, but it's almost like a wearable med bed. And I've just heard the most incredible stories, and I can't even recall any of them now, but really people with serious issues that have benefited so much, including pain, going within minutes, which is
mhm.
quite incredible how
It
intelligent the body is and
is.
how quickly it reacts.
Right. And if you think about those electrical signals in the body, like we've been talking about, if we just open up the correct pathways with say, the ice wave patch for the pain, but even just the regular patches can help with that too. It's just amazing how it just reconnects something just enough to clear that response in the body that you might have been walking around with for days. So
Mm. And
that's
I think,
amazing.
like we were chatting as well, we just really need to support the body right now. It really
Mm-hmm.
needs our support. We need a lot of self-care. Like, go for that massage. If you're thinking about it, just go
Mm-hmm.
for it. Don't delay.
Yeah.
Don't
Mm-hmm.
think, oh, but I've got work to do, or it's expensive, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it. Your body will thank you and give it back to you threefold if you care for it.
Absolutely. That's why I was telling you I went and got a Thai massage to help open up the fascia, and they say that a lot of light moves through the fascia, a lot of
Mm.
intelligence, and so if there's any stuck pathways there too, I want to keep those open so I don't create any more resistances in my body. And that's a lot of the work I do with clients is removing a lot of resistance in the body right now just to flow and move with ease through this process. We need all the
Mm,
support we can get, honestly. What are some other things that you're doing for self-care and for
mm.
healing that you might find useful?
Yeah, well, I love a Thai massage as well. It's my favorite massage. You need to have a good therapist, obviously, that really understands the
Mhm,
body. But for me, that's my favorite time. It just opens up the body, like you said, in so many different ways. And it's like they're
mhm,
so thorough. I mean, they go through like little muscles and joints in the body that I forgot I even had, you know?
mhm,
It's like, whoa, I forgot about that one. It's just like open, and the stretching is amazing as well. And as you say, the fascia, because that needs to move, because otherwise, there's like these little things that get trapped in the fascia, um,
mhm,
and we don't always know about it until it's too late, and then it develops into a thing. So you don't want it to
mhm,
develop into a thing. You really want to do the regular or everyday maintenance to prevent anything else from forming and making it really uncomfortable for yourself. So for
mhm.
me, love a Thai massage. I do regular acupuncture as well, although after doing it for so many years, I'm still a little bit apprehensive of those needles, but I know it works. So I will just like suck it
Mhm.
up and do it.
Yeah.
Uh, but that really like opens up the meridians and just let the energy flow, anything that is stuck in the body. Because as I say, we
Mhm.
tend to ignore these little things. It's like, no, it's fine. I'm okay. I'm fine. And then you
Yeah.
get to acupuncture, it's like, whoa, why is it so painful? And you realize, oh, actually, I've been neglecting this part of my body. It needs
Mhm.
attention. And I'm so glad it opened up, because the light being able to flow freely through your body is what's going to assist you in um, really, I don't want to speed up, but in a way, facilitating and making it easier, this whole ascension process, because our
Yes.
bodies are morphing into a different uh, formula. I mean, I read the other day,
Mhm.
somebody said we're moving from 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and what's the other thing? Electrons, to 777, which is I found really interesting. So from carbon to
Interesting.
crystalline. Um,
Yes.
and so, yeah, it's all just quite incredible. And I think the more this process continues, the more we will understand about it. And quite frankly, the more we will be able to perceive what's really going on. The role
Mhm.
of plasma and chi and prana in the atmosphere and in your body, and the different forms of chi or prana, and how you can
Mhm.
actually manipulate and transform energy, if you get to learn that skill. So yeah, things like just Tai Chi, Qigong, grounding is things that I just call upon when I really need it.
Mhm.
Um, and sun gazing, that's one of my favorites as well. I try not to
Yes.
skip a day without just a little bit of sun gazing, and being in the sun, really. Um, and I've been obsessed with the sun for the last 5 years. Um, But yeah, I believe also we're going to be getting a higher sun, or another sun, which is exciting. But right now, the sun that we do have is acting as a portal. So it's not really the sun itself. It's really just a portal to flood through this light energy, that light
Mhm.
codes, essentially, that is
Yes.
upgrading the body, this information, geometry and information that the body is being upgraded with. And it helps the pineal gland as well, right?
It does. It does. And I like to, stand out there either directly, looking at the sun as much as I possibly can, if I'm able to, because I had to work up to that, or with my eyes closed too, and then I can envision the different prism colors moving through the body. So I know that if I'm looking at the sun and I see, say, like yellow, then I know it's attuning into my solar plexus energy. And so I try to move through the full spectrum of colors if my body needs it, um, and really just bring in as much of that light energy possible. And I had a friend yesterday who sent me a message and saying, "Oh, this is really weird, but I was looking at the sun. I opened up my window while I was driving, and then I saw this other halo around the sun." And she's like, "What was that?" And she said it looked rose gold. So I think it might have been some more of one of the other sun energies peeping
Mm,
through and showing her what's possible or what we're moving into. So
mm.
that was
I've
pretty
seen that
unique.
as well.
You
Um,
have.
I actually photographed that, like a big halo around the sun, with some pinkish light coming through. It's amazing, actually.
Wow. That's
Mm.
beautiful.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
now, doing sunset, I often see a lot more pink light. It's like these beautiful pink
Oh,
candy floss colors that I never used to see at sunset. It used to be more sort of oranges, you know. Now it's more the colder side of the red spectrum with that pink
mhm.
and light blue, that periwinkle sort of iridescence. It's starting to come through some days at least.
Yes. Yeah, we've had some spectacular sunsets here and even sunrises when I catch them. Not a morning person, but my daughter caught an amazing sunrise a couple weeks ago, and it was so brilliant blue. No, it was more of the like on fire energies. Just I kind of live in a little valley a little bit, so we don't see like the flat
The sun
horizon.
actually going down, yeah.
hmm So we just see the tail end of it, but it was really amazing, amazing.
Hmm.
So,
Um, yeah, and I'm wondering, also what's very probably important right now is to do people can do like a bit of a chakra clearing when they meditate. Imagine,
mhm.
moving up the spine through each chakra and the colors associated with it, and just feel the light moving through the chakra and clearing it and opening it up. Are you doing
Yes,
any of those practices or recommending?
yes, I do those in, excuse my voice again, in every
Mm.
session as well. I try to open up, we open up all the meridians, all the chakras, rebalancing them. And I use the 13 chakra system personally, even though they are infinite, in my opinion. But what I'm seeing is that the meridian system is expanding and it's integrating more into our chakra system. So I try to help facilitate that. But with the Prism Light, I usually just kind of, and for anybody who uses a pendulum or does any body testing, you can see and ask. I usually say it as a statement. I say, my root chakra is balanced. I'm getting a yes. So that's good. That's good right now.
That's a good start.
Especially, it's a good start. You can even just ask if all of them are balanced, or you can ask, are there any blockages in my chakras? I'm getting a yes on that too. So I might need to clear my throat chakra, is what it feels like right now.
Mm. The throat's been coming
But
up a lot as well for me. Obviously, I've been, under the weather, whatever that was. But it
mhm,
started in my throat, and I'm still a little bit
mhm.
scratchy, even like more than 2 weeks later. So, are
Oh,
you
wow.
finding any throat issues coming up, or
Yeah, I see that, especially in certain body types too. Especially, well, we're in the fall now. I suppose you're moving into closer to
spring,
summer,
summer?
spring,
Yeah.
summer. And so I see that more often in the fall, but the throat as a theme, I've had a handful of clients with throat chakra, and there's a lot of feminine energy that is attached to that too. And so, as our divine feminine is coming more online, this is restructuring, healing, restoring. And if there's also what's coming in right now, too, is if there's any emotional connections to quote unquote digesting life, it can
Mm,
also show up in this area, too, maybe with things coming back up,
mm,
or just not moving down, or just right now for me, it feels all garbly. So, so
Mm,
something I need to clear. And a lot of it could be speaking your truth or being felt like you feel like you're heard or in your whole lifetime. So a lot of our inner child energies have not been heard. And so healing that part of us is really important right now too.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
then, yeah, I mean, we had also a 17-hour blackout on the Schumann. That was maybe already a day or two ago, um,
Hmm.
which is interesting as well. I mean, I just, I may seem obsessed to some people about the Schumann activity and through our atlas, but it's just, I think it's such a phenomenal time just to be alive and to witness all of this and to actually have a tangible proof, in a way, of what's really going on because we can see it on the Schumann resonance. The equipment is reading it, the equipment is not lying, you know.
Yes. Yeah, I get lots of messages like, I feel this, this, and this. What's going on with the energies, or why am I experiencing this? And so I can usually point it back to some of those readings, not every time, but um, tuning into that, it's like, oh, okay, so we just have to work through that and then it'll pass and then we'll move on to the next thing. So,
Mm, yeah. Um, yeah. So maybe Emilio can ask you, what are some of the other patches of LifeWave that you found really helpful and interesting? I've heard is it the carnosine, which I haven't tried yet for the eyes?
yes, people use that for the eyes, and it's also good for circulation and it's kind of a whole body organ booster as well. So I think people focus on the heart energies, heart and higher heart energies for that too. And so I love the carnosine. I don't use it every day like all the other specialty patches, but I will often wear it here. And many people will wear it here. Or there's some other points that are recommended, but really it's a really balancing one. Um, and it just feels like, and I think that's one you can also wear at night as well without it, keeping you awake.
Mm,
So, um, and I think with the blood flow, a lot of people have those concerns. So that's a really good one to go to for that, just simply put what that
mm.
one's good for. So,
So I have a question. Can you like put the patches in the wrong spot? Or will it still have an effect on your body? Because I was trying some of my acupuncture point, and my husband was saying, you put that in the wrong spot. I'm like, damn, I thought it was on the spot, but it literally was a little bit off. And I was wondering if it's still working, even though we may put it in the wrong spot.
I've asked that question too, and I usually double check with my pendulum and I get a yes, it's still working. It's kind of like, yes, there might be a better place to put it, but no matter where you put it, it's going to be helpful. And like I said, I was moving it all around my left shoulder and different places to open up whatever that it was like felt all scrunchy and tight. And it really helped to clear it. So even if it wasn't on any actual points, it still will work. So there's no wrong way per se. And I always say the only wrong way would be to not open up your package and use them. So
Indeed, yeah. Um, Now, we were going to talk about pets quickly as well. And I'm reminded of a lot of people use their patches when they've used it during the day, they then put it on their pets, like under the collar or something like that. And a lot of people are reporting amazing things just by using it on their
mhm.
pets as well. Have you had any experience with that?
Absolutely. I have a little dog. He's about 24 pounds, give or take. And he had this eye issue come up. And so I put a patch like above and on the side, and it really did help clear it up. um, what we were dealing with. I've had to do some other things too because there was some internal. So with the supplements and all the support that I give him, it's been helpful. And I also noticed that I when I put my usually my used patch or sometimes a brand new one on him. Like his fur has filled out so much more. So it's been really helpful. And he also has like a little detox thing going on with his tail. So I put a patch right next to that, and it seems to be shrinking that spot because he's starting to get a little older, but
Mm.
he's also ascending with us. So he's having a lot of strange
Yeah.
symptoms as well.
Like we
So,
said, animals are feeling it too. And I just heard something today. I think it was Stefan Burns that, always reports on the uh, geo weather around the world. And he was saying that some of the birds are, their navigation system might be interfered with because the X 5.1, I mean, that's getting pretty close to like a Carrington event kind of flare, where literally we might see all the equipment being knocked out. It's not quite there yet, but it's getting pretty close. And so you can
mhm,
imagine the animals that rely on their internal navigation to fly, like birds or even fish and whales, could really be
mhm,
affected by this, at least temporarily. And then, of course, our pets also just feeling a little bit out of sorts, like maybe
mhm.
anxious, their nervous system being overstimulated.
Yeah, my dog has been barking extra at every little sound the last week, so it's been heightened for sure. And I wonder with the birds too, because someone actually came on, I don't know if it was TikTok, and they said scientists are saying that the earth is spinning faster and our days are getting shorter. And I thought, well, we've energetically been picking that up, so it's interesting now they're just trying to put it out there in article form. But I think that would affect especially the birds and the maybe the ocean animals as well, with
Hmm.
different programs that are running, maybe with the tides and different things. I don't know much about that, but that's it's coming in.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, pretty interesting. As you said, the animals are ascending with us, and they're definitely feeling it as well, although we're feeling it more severely just because of the way we've been kind of poisoning ourselves. The
mhm,
type of food that we've been eating. Now we know better, but a couple of years ago, maybe we weren't aware of all the poisons that we were putting in our body. And then, of course, the water that
mhm,
comes through the taps and all of these things and the stress. So, to a
mhm.
large extent, I think the animals are handling it a little bit better than us. But for the pets that
Yes.
live with us, often they take on our stress or our energy
Mhm.
or our diseases. And yeah, they're
Yeah.
definitely feeling it.
Yeah, they are absolutely. And so yeah, just I do the same thing for myself as much as possible. I'm still trying to find an animal chiropractor for
Mhm.
my dog, but it's like we're doing the same things just to keep us all balanced um,
Or maybe
and
acupuncture
harmonious.
for the dogs, for an animal
Yes.
acupuncture is an idea as well.
Yes. I believe there is one locally for acupuncture. I'll have to figure that out again. Um, yeah, all the
Yeah,
different support. It's very important.
yeah.
Yeah.
And just for those that don't quite, I think it's difficult for some to grasp how the patches work. But like the X39, for example, is stimulating the skin with light. So once you apply that, you have these specific wavelengths of light that will cause an increase in a peptide called GHKCU, which is a copper peptide, um, and that declines with age. So when you
Yeah.
there you go. So when you're in your 20s, um, you have about 200 nanograms per milliliter, whereas when we reach 60, we only have about 60 left. So the decrease is by about 60 to 80%. And that is really what causes the degradation in the body and also aging. So the more healthy your cells are, the less they're going to age and the less they're going to be prone to disease and um, malfunction. So I think, you know, the X39, you don't have to have an illness to benefit from it. In fact, I think many of us would want to feel younger. And what I've noticed is my hair is becoming thicker. I've had a lot of hair regrowth since I've been using it. And another thing that's maybe
too.
not so pleasant to talk about, but I used to have like deep cracks in my heels, which indicates some kidney dysfunction, and they
Me
are
too.
completely gone. Like I don't have them anymore. I just noticed, like in the last 3 months, they have disappeared.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Mm.
Yeah, I had similar, and mine have gotten way better with my heels. My hair was has almost completely replenished itself back to its original thickness. Because I was like, "Ugh," a year and a half ago, I was like, where'd it go? Um,
Mm.
and my nails are much stronger
Mm.
because those were weakening too, and I wasn't sure why. Sometimes when it's your own issues, you overthink, and
Yeah.
I was overthinking all of my own stuff. And what else has been stronger? My skin too. I've been through many adrenal crashes, autoimmune things in my life,
Yeah,
and
me
my
too.
skin is, your skin can feel thin when you have adrenal insufficiency or whatever is going on with the adrenals, and that's gotten back to its full nature. So it doesn't look like it's weak, and it does. I think the patches do help with collagen production too. I think I
Yes,
saw somewhere.
I'm convinced it does. Yeah.
hmm
Hmm.
So it's endless, and there's a lot of things I have no idea probably that are going on behind the scenes. But I want to give my body all the resources that it needs and to do all the rebuilding and all the anti-aging that we are going through with this ascension and crystalline switch over, and everything's readjusting, and sometimes I feel taller even. There's lots of weird things happening.
Wow.
But I think also my height was suppressed. I don't think I fully developed as a child with all the autoimmune stuff. So my body's readjusting. And maybe it's just my spine stretching out. Who knows?
Mm.
Um, and I do regular support for that as well. But giving our body as many of the resources that are needed in a possible way, or in a kind way too, so that we're not overloading. But if our body has the resources to heal, repair, restore, then the ascension process is just going to be that much easier. So
Yeah. Yeah. You're
yeah.
going to need less intervention by these flares, right? Because your body is going to be
Yes.
open and ready to upgrade. And the other thing that I've really benefited from is rebounding. Those mini
hmm
trampolines. I've been doing it for many years, but I didn't have nice trampolines, so it kind of would break, and then I wouldn't replace it. But recently, I got a really good one, and I'm just enjoying getting back into it, and that movement, even if you just do like a 2-minute health bounce every day, is incredible. And 10 minutes is the equivalent of like 30 minutes of running. And I love that because
Nice. Yeah.
I get, so distracted and bored quickly that you can't pin me down for too
hmm
long. It's like 10 minutes I can do, like, and just
hmm
even some high interval or high intensity interval training on the rebounder is amazing. You
Oh,
can get those
nice.
lungs going. And Dr. Barbara O'Neill talks about that and how that actually, I forgot what it is, but it stimulates something in the body that is also anti-aging despite everything else that it does. So, and that effect can last for 24 hours. So if you do it like every day, you just keep producing this kind of, I don't know what it is, I forgot. I will have to look it up. If it's a peptide or
hmm
anti, something in the body that that creates an anti-aging effect. And anti-aging is not about just, vanity and looking young. It's also about your cells anti-aging,
hmm
because it's the aging of the cells that leads to, you know, disease, and if you want to call it that, but
Right.
dis-ease, shall we call it.
Yes, that's what I always say too. Yeah, I used to have a rebounder, but now I don't have a lot of space for that indoors. So I got a vibration plate to move my lymphatic and And that was a
Mm,
chronic, stuck part of me for years. I had swollen glands here that were
mm,
massive, and with different things I've cleared throughout the years, they've gotten much better. But the vibration plate has been extremely helpful for me too.
mm, mm.
So, and 10 minutes is supposed to be like the same thing as like the rebounder, but so much time of running and a high impact exercise. So,
Yeah, that's amazing. And actual running is bad, as we know, for the knees and the hips, especially when you get
mhm,
older. It's not so good for your body anymore. So not really
yeah.
recommended. So if you can have something that's not so hard on the knees and the hips, that's wonderful.
Hmm.
Um, and just to go back to the um, LifeWave, the what did I want to say now? So those copper peptides that I spoke about, it resets thousands of genes. So all these genes that have, and this kind of been switched off, it resets them to a more youthful state. Um,
Hmm.
so that's why it has all these like very broad ranging results, even like
Hmm.
supporting immune health, elevating collagen production, improving energy production, relieving pain, reducing inflammation, speeding the wound healing process. It's endless. So it's very exciting.
It is. I love that. The wound healing. I think that's important too. Again, having gone through many bouts of adrenal issues, that's one thing that slows down. And you just look a lot older when you're dealing with adrenals.
Mm,
And it's been really, really helpful just to keep that steady. I think it keeps my nervous system from dipping too quickly and affecting the adrenals. And
mm,
um, it's been huge for me, huge. One of those life-changing things that I just can't stop talking about. And friends with, some major issues, when they ask, well, what can I do? What can I do? It's like more often than not, intuitively, I hear patches first. And so it's pretty amazing.
yeah. So people want to check that out. The links are below. And also, like Amelia and myself and a few other people in one team. So if you want to sign up with like a, preferred customer or business partner, then Amelia can also guide you through a lot of the aspects to do with healing. And then Debbie on
Mhm,
the team is really good at the business side and how
mhm.
to set it up if you really want to start like a little 5D business, something you love. So I think that's really awesome. And David Schmidt, did you see the latest ad, Amelia? Did you check out
I
that
don't think
ad with William
so.
Shatner? It's so funny.
No, I did not see that. How did I miss that?
It was actually on shared on one of our groups, and
Oh,
he's like the oldest intern at LifeWave. It's super funny, and there's like a hollow deck, and he's like, it's like the Star Trek kind of vibe, and it's just so funny. And I'm just amazed at this company. I mean, David Schmidt, the CEO, has got over 200 patents, and he is just rocking and rolling.
brilliant.
He just brought
Yeah,
out this
he's
incredible water machine, and now he's working on a free energy device. He
mhm.
is not slowing down anytime soon. So it's a phenomenal business to be part of.
It is, and I choose to only partner with those companies that are high vibrational, that have
Yeah.
honest, pure intentions, because there's some natural companies that don't. And so I can usually pick those out pretty quickly. But this company is, and it's an amazing bridge to the next phase. Um, and the fact that he's part of a documentary too.
Mm,
Um, that describes more of what we would need to know, or it would be helpful to know, really. And I just see this company being around for a long time, and already has been 20 something years already.
yeah,
And I don't know
exactly.
how it took me so long to discover them.
I know. Well, I've known about it for maybe almost 5 years, and I just literally started a few months ago. So I'm a bit
Yeah,
of a slow starter sometimes, but
when
at
it's
least
meant to happen.
yeah, all in divine timing, as
It
they say.
is. Yeah. And I'm happy to meet with people too if you have more in-depth questions, and just really support and tune into what your body's asking for too. So if you need support like that, I'm throwing it out
Mm.
there. So feel free to
I
reach
think that's
out.
amazing. If you're like wondering which one will work for me, which ones are the
Hmm.
best, you feel
Or
into
just,
that intuitively
mhm,
as an intuitive healer. So I find that amazing. And that's why other people have approached me, but I didn't really necessarily resonate. And when I, met you and Honey and
mhm,
Debbie, I'm like, yes, this feels right because there's all the support
mhm.
that you need as well. And
Yeah.
it just resonated for me. So, and the other thing is people must just get lots of rest at the moment.
Yeah.
There's nothing too important for you not to get an extra hour or two of sleep. Um,
Yep.
or at least take a nap if you can't, afternoon nap. So that's the biggest thing because our bodies are going through this repair process and healing process right now. And the only thing that really works is rest.
Yes.
Because when you're fully rested and asleep, your body can then
Mhm.
say, okay, she's asleep. Now we can get to work. Now we can heal and detox. And, like for example, I have to really focus on getting to bed earlier because the time of the liver is between 11 and 1. And so if you're not asleep at that time, it
Yeah.
means your liver cannot detox and repair itself properly. And that is really important because that also, if your liver can't take
Mhm.
toxins out of the body, you're going to have all sorts of issues coming up. So for me, that's a
Mhm.
big focus. Like, get to bed and be asleep by 11, which is the biggest challenge for me because I'm a bit of a
Ew.
night owl.
Me too. I know I
Always,
tend to push it to midnight, and I never feel as best as I could if I had just gone to bed a little sooner. But I've also had some nights where I've been kept awake too, instead of, I had a few nights, I think, before all these X flares hit, where it was like I couldn't fall asleep till 1:30, 2:30, and this was not
yeah,
normal for me. And so I just had to rest as I could. But yeah, the sleep is very important.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're right. Sometimes it does cause insomnia.
Mhm.
And sometimes you don't even feel tired. I've also had that where I didn't sleep much, but the next morning I'm not tired. So
Mhm.
you
Yes,
just listen to your body, it
yes,
knows what it needs.
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I hate to cut this short, but I need to take my daughter
Yeah,
um
I
to
need
where
to
she
wrap up
needs to
as well.
go. And I
But that's been
appreciate you so
awesome.
much, Anina.
Thank you,
Sorry?
Amelia.
Oh.
That's been really awesome and hopefully very helpful for people during this time. So, yeah.
Yeah, reach out for support if you need support, whether it's through healing sessions or communities, whatever is needed. Just find your little space to just really connect with people, and just enjoy the ride.
Yeah. And I'll leave all the links below so you can check out. And this is, I think it's going to go on both our channels, but on my channel,
Mhm.
Amelia's website will be on in the show notes, so you can contact her. She's an amazing healer. Um, and yeah, together we walk each other home to the new earth, one step at a time, with all the support we can offer one another. Mm.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much, everyone. Look after yourselves, and we'll see you very soon. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Bye.
Bye.